Well, a very good evening to you. It is exactly 3 minutes to the top of the hour here on Lookuptv. This is the Spotlight, and many thanks for making time to be with us at this particular moment in time on a day that there were concerns over fresh gas leak in Embakasi, the, of course, location for the deadly explosion that happened last week. That is one story that we've focused on tonight here on our bulletin. And of course, later on in this particular bulletin, we'll be speaking to the sitting Vice President of the Law Society of Kenya, Faith Moni Odhiambo, on her quest to become the President of the Law Society and on grounds, or rather matters of judicial independence, or in regards to upholding the rule of law, just weeks after the sustained attacks on the judiciary by the President and his lieutenants that led to the meeting between the President and the Chief Justice Martha Koome in the presence of House leadership led by Speaker Moses Wetangula. First of all, let's have a look at what's making headlines tonight.
Tonight on the Spotlight, no cause for alarm. Authorities say after Embakasi residents reported gas leaks in the area that bore the brunt of Friday's gas explosion.
Anyagoki alikuwa na maono kubwa sana, alikuwa amesema hata atasaidia msichana wao mwingine Jane ameraswa huko Karatina.
Counting the losses, Embakasi fire victims decry less support from government as families mourn their kith and kin. Paying fees on e-citizen will reduce corruption and ensure schools get the funds on time, says PS Julius Bitok as Kenyans weigh in on the matter. And she is the Vice President of the Law Society of Kenya, and now she wants to be the President in the coming elections. Faith Moni Odhiambo gives her take on judicial independence and her candidature for the LSK President.
Now, welcome to the program. I am Ian Keitani, and our sign language interpreter is Josephine Oko. Remember, you can watch this bulletin live on our Facebook and YouTube pages at Lookuptv. We kickstart our bulletin now, and on Monday, panic gripped Mradi village, the area that bore the brunt of Friday's gas explosion in Embakasi, Nairobi, over suspected fresh gas leak. However, authorities have confirmed that there is no need to panic as the situation was under control. And after investigations, it was established on Monday morning that residents reported smelling a gas similar to the one that wafted through their nostrils moments before the Friday horror that left 6 people dead and more than 300 injured. There was mass exodus as the families abandoned their homes out of fear of the unknown. Mevin Getembe now reports.
Si mkasa ya hivi wenye waliona hiyo kitu hiyo siku na sasa hiyo wanatutishia, wanatuambia bado kuna gasi inanuka na tujui serikali hakuna kitu wanatuambia.
It is a sigh of relief for residents of Mradi after police and authorities allayed their fears over fresh gas leak. Residents earlier morning reported smelling a gas similar to the one that rafted through their families, abandoning their houses out of fear of the unknown.
It's because like 1.5 hours ago, there was information that circulated within this area that there was a flash leak of gas within this area, na watu wakapanic wakatoroka.
Nairobi City County officials, while addressing the press, said that the area had been secured and a fire engine dispatched. Precautionary measures including evacuation of neighboring residents has already been taken.
Tumefungua tanki zote, tuko na tanki 4. Tanki moja ndogo imefunguliwa, haina gas. Na zile zingine 3 tumefungua valve zake zote, hazina gesi. So tunahakikishia kwa hii site hakuna gas ambayo inaweza dhuru mtu, zote ziko empty.
According to the residents, they have received minimal support, contrary to the government spokesperson Isaac Maura sentiments where he said at least that a good number of the affected has received support.
Sai hata hatujapata msaada yoyote.
Msaada imetoka, serikali katoa msaada. Lakini chakula imepelekwa Embakasi ward, social hall na hapa ni utawala ward. Alafu chakula imepeanwa usiku. Imepeana usiku na kuna watu waliumia hapa hata hawezi kutoka hapa kwenda kutafuta chakula huko. Mbona chakula isiletwe kwa ground mahali watu wanapata chakula? Jana tumeenda mpaka social hall, watu wamefungiwa nje. Hata mimi mwenyewe niliumia. Nilichomeka hata hapa kwa shingo. Anatuambia kama wengine hata hatuna makao, tujui vile tutafanya.
This comes after the own of the illegal gas filling plant in Embakasi that exploded, killing at least 6 and injuring more than 200 people, are surrendered to the police. The businessman turned up at the police and was greeted by detectives as the probe into the tragedy unfolds. Mevin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Mevin Getembe, for that particular story. Staying on the same story is that government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura now says the government is committed to helping the victims of the Embakasi tragedy. Mwaura, in a statement, says the hundreds of victims will get government support to begin afresh. This comes as the Independent Gas Suppliers Association vowed to make a donation to help the victims. Ruga Ival files the following story.
The government for the 5th time has given an update on the Embakasi fire incident through their government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura. They have highlighted that 3 more individuals have succumbed to their injuries, raising the death toll from the Embakasi fire incident to 6. More than 300 victims continue to receive treatment in different hospitals. About 27 patients have been admitted in the Kenyatta Referral Hospital. 8 have already been discharged. 10 are men, 6 are women, while 3 are children. However, there is 1 victim in a critical condition and still undergoing treatment under ICU. Additionally, the Kenyatta National Hospital has also continued to serve more victims. 67 are so far admitted, 6 are in critical condition, 27 patients are now discharged, while 34 others continue to receive care in various wards. At the Embakasi Social Hall, 761 beneficiaries got direct supplies from the multi-agency response, including essential supplies. The Kenya Red Cross has implemented a mechanism to cover 2 months' rent for the affected individuals, amounting to 6,000 Kenyan shillings per month. The government, with support from other partners, will continue to give support to the 761 families, an increase of 98 families compared to the initial figure of 663 households. Additionally, those who have lost their documents and certificates in this tragedy were requested to register at the Embakasi Social Hall in order for the government to facilitate the replacement through National Registration Bureau (NRB) and other bodies such as Kenya National Examination Council.
Makarau ama OCS hapa wa hii Embakasi anajua hii mambo. Sababu wao ndio wanakutumanga, unaona Franks kwa tunakuja hapa Masai wanafunguliwa wanapewa yao wanaenda, of which is risk. For example, mimi ni mtu wa kwazo hapa mtaani, nipewe kazi hapa ya kujenga kipanda, haitachukua saa moja kuona kaje imefika hapa, nasema unaweka legal structure. Na sisi tunauliza, we are requesting the government, in case vitu kama hizi zikiwekwa mahali na wao hii harakati, ile haraka yenye kanje inatumia, watumie hii harakati wahakikishe kwamba sisi tunakaa mahali iko safe. Number 2, kuna zile kampuni zenye zina supply gas. Tunasijua hapa, for example Toto Gas, K Gas. Mbona wanaruhusu hizi zingine hata hazina hizo safety precautions? Sababu kuna, for example tuseme kama Toto Gas, kuna kitu kwa pale wameweka. 1, kuna kitu inaitwa ESD. ESD, in case uone moto, ni kitu na press. Ukisa press, mambo matatu yanafanyika. 1, aramu ina raise. 2, ile electricity operation ina cut off.
Ruga Ival, Lookuptv.
Now, on a very sad note, and still in relation to the same story, is that a family in Kirinyaga County is mourning the death of 2 family members who died in the Embakasi fire tragedy. According to the family, led by the deceased's mother, Virginia Wambugi, a late daughter, Anne Nyeguthi, aged 25, and her son, aged 1 year, were among those who died from the gas incident in Embakasi.
The death toll of the Embakasi fire tragedy has risen to 7. Sadly, a family in Kirinyaga is mourning the death of their keener daughter and a 1-year-old child who perished in the Friday infant. The mother of the deceased, Virginia Wambugi, says she lost her daughter Anya Gudi and found out about the gas explosion on TV, only for them to learn the following day that their daughter and her son were among the people who were confirmed dead.
Naudhika sana kwa kuwa ile moto ilikuwa imewaka huko Embakasi. Nilisikia watu wamekufa 4 na alafu wengine walikuwa wamechomeka. Nikajiuliza mimi, oi, hao wenye wamekufa ni akina nani? Nisi ni watoto wenyewe. Asubuhi yake sasa ndio nilirauka. Nikasikia Nyaguthia alikuwa hapo na mtoto wake. Mtoto wake alikuwa anaitwa Masaria na Nyaguthia. Na watoto, huyo mtoto alikuwa na furaha nyingi sana. Na Nyaguthia alikuwa na maono kubwa sana. Alikuwa amesema hata atasaidia msichana wao mwingine Jane amelazwa huko Karatina.
Nimekuja huku kwa mama Chiko. Huyu msichana na mtoto wake ameshomeka Embakasi. Ni gasosho yangu. Tumenasikia uchungu sana.
Sisi tulistuka sana kwa sababu kuko na watu 4 walikufa. Wetu 2, mtoto na msichana walikuwa wetu, na sisi tulisangaa sana.
Tulipatwa na mshtuko sana tuliposhuhudia ati ni watoto wetu wamechomeka kule Embakasi. Tukahusunika sana, na sasa tukaambiwa ati msichana wetu ameaga na mtoto wake pamoja.
As the family continue with burial preparations, they are pleading with the government to offer a helping hand in according the loved one a decent send-off. The death toll has risen to 74 days after the tragedy, with hundreds counting losses. George Kayesi, Lookuptv.
Moving forward, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga has attributed poor planning in the capital city of Nairobi to the explosion witnessed in Embakasi, leading to loss of lives and property. Raila says planning has been abandoned in Nairobi and everyone is embracing chaos. Brian Amoy reports.
The city of Nairobi struggles to come to terms with the death of 6 people following the Embakasi fire tragedy on Friday last week. ODM leader Raila Odinga has now blamed poor planning and lack of adherence to the law for the tragedy.
Currently, Nairobi is mourning its dead and treating hundreds of injured because the city ignored planning and allowed a gas filling plant where none was supposed to be. Even our roads as a country have become death traps because planning was long discarded. Every burst of investment and create the much needed, well-paying jobs for our people. We cannot and we must not thrive in chaos.
Raila said unlike other established cities across the globe, where areas are zoned for specific functions, unscrupulous businessmen and greedy government officials are having a field day in Kenya, issuing licenses for establishments of activities in areas zoned for other purposes, putting the lives of Kenyans at risk.
Today, our greatest source of failure as a country is not the lack of funds, personnel or knowledge. It is the lack of planning. Our cities are clogged by traffic because we have created bus stages where they were not supposed to be. We have created markets where they were not supposed to be. Sewage systems are not working because we built on, clogged or broken them. I know this from experience in this city.
He wants countries to adopt a more strict approach and ensure specific areas serve specific purposes, as zoned in the initial town plans. The opposition, Supremo, also wants a strategic and deliberate approach in safeguarding water sources to help safeguard rivers and lakes in the region. Raila spoke as he opened the new headquarters of Kisumu Water and Sewerage Company in Kisumu County. Brian Amoy, Lookuptv.
Now, Polish President Andrzej Duda is in the country for a 2-day official visit. Duda was received by President William Ruto at State House Nairobi, where the two heads of state signed 2 memoranda of understanding that seeks to solidify relations between the two countries. Speaking to the media, President Ruto said the MOUs will cement the relations between Kenya and Poland.
4 months after cancelling his initial state visit to the country, Andrzej Duda, the president of Poland, finally jetted into the country late Sunday evening. Duda was received by President William Ruto early today morning before holding bilateral talks at State House, Nairobi. With Poland widely known for producing a variety of agricultural and horticultural products, the two countries, after the two heads of state held bilateral discussions, agreed to engage in enhanced cooperation in the agricultural sector, with President Ruto emphasizing the importance of Kenya adopting the technology used by Poland in production.
We have discussed widely on the agricultural sector, how we can leverage on the expertise that exists in dam construction. I also want to thank you, Mr. President, for the consideration that Poland has already made, especially in the area of dairy. We already have 350 milk cooling plants around Kenya, courtesy of a program between our two countries. And I am looking forward to the speedy conclusion of the other 650 milk coolers that will help expand our dairy industry, save on the post-harvest losses.
With President Ruto highlighting the importance of Poland as a valued partner to Kenya, the two heads of state agreed to bolster their efforts in battling climate change, months after Kenya hosted the inaugural Africa Climate Summit.
Kenya and Poland have agreed to work together to increase joint efforts to the decarbonization agenda in line with the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity, and give priority to green growth. We have also committed to advocating for a more reformed and inclusive global climate financing.
On his part, Polish President Andrzej Duda acknowledged the impact of the Russian aggression on food production across the globe, while noting the importance of cooperation of the two countries in various sectors, including agriculture and business.
I also spoke about the impact of Russian aggression on the global food market, on the global energy market. But we also discussed cooperation in other sectors of the agriculture. We also touched upon cooperation in the sector of modern technologies, environment protection. We also discussed various forms of winning energy from renewable sources.
Duda is set to visit Rwanda and Tanzania after departing from Kenya. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
Of course, that story was produced by one Brian Amoy. Now, on that note, we take a short breather. We'll be back on the other side of this bulletin with more stories, including what Kenyans have to say regarding the government directive that parents do pay school fees via the e-Citizen. Don't go away.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
What about mambo fantastic hivyo not scholastic? Chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket imerudi. Ukifanya tu shopping ya shilingi 1,000, wewe unaingia kwa promotion ya chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket. Watu wanaendelea kushinda ndani ya Hetia Supermarket. Mbona tata? Kitoko. Wewe na umeshika
nini? Yote. Hasa. Uoga na lala.
Karibu ndani ya Hete Supermarket uweze kuchota kwa wingi kabisa. Watu wanasema nini? Nakwambia kwamba chota kuchota. Unangoja nini?
Magari 7 za kushindaniwa, TV, free, microwave, shopping vouchers, school fees vouchers, instant prizes na zawadi zingine kemkem. Chota kuchota imethaminiwa na Hetias, Oven Fresh Bakery, Gigabyte, Mount Kenya Milk, Clover's Food Products, Velvet, Magic Drink, Pwani Oil, Arenco, Fruit Juice, Masterchef, Toilex, Coolsip, Mika, Wash Ultra, Philos, Bristol, Nivea, My Choice, Ushindi, Fresh Fry, Artemis Jelly, Cabernet Water, Dettol, Ketepa, Meta, Glucose, Coca-Cola, Rosy Tissue, Big Giant, Elbins, Unilever, Fresh, Unga wa Dola, Blue Band na Pasta Star. Shindano la chota kuchota linaanza tarehe 1 Disemba hadi tarehe 10 Februari mwaka 2024.
Hete Supermarket, a world of choice.
Thank you very much for staying with us. On to matters infrastructure now, and Roads and Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen on Monday announced that the state has received 50 new wagons to facilitate the operations of the Madaraka Express freight service. Murkomen said the wagons are a key milestone for Kenya and the region as the ministry seeks to improve rail services and efficiency.
And bagged cargo. However, with the increased demand for both local and transit cargo, it is necessary to enhance the fleet. I'm informed that the corporation has engaged several clients, long-term freight agreements specifically for customers with huge volumes of cargo, that is wheat, steel, clinker. This requires additional wagons, resources to ensure that full container loads from shipping lines are not adversely affected by delayed evacuation. Based on the projected growth of 30% for the financial year 2024-2025, Kenya Railway procured these 500 wagons, comprising of 300 SGR wagons and 200 MGR wagons, and the wagons of various specifications to ensure that the cargo can move all the way to Kampala through the SGR and MGR transshipment facility at the Naivasha. Meanwhile, the rehabilitation of Kisumu Port has revitalized lake transport and significantly contributed to growth of the blue economy in the region, while establishment of cargo handling facilities at border points has streamlined containerized cargo evacuation. Our rail transport sector, both standard gauge railway and medium gauge railway, continues to register significant gains. The volume of cargo transported via MGR, for instance, increased by 21% from 787,000 tons in 2022 to 1,955,000 in 2023.
On to a very, of course, controversial directive by the government, and Immigration and Citizen Services Principal Secretary Julius Bitok has clarified that schoolhouse will be able to access funds paid to their institutions through its citizen portal promptly and in full. Bitok said the move would enhance accountability in the management of funds in public institutions across the country. Let's listen in to what Kenyans have to say regarding this matter.
I think it's a terrible idea, unaget. So the reason why I'm saying it's a terrible idea because unapata zile ma time tulikuwa tunalipa school fees zilikuwa zinaenda kwa account ya shule, si ndio? And then unapata it's easier for the school kufanya the little things. For example, shule imekuwa na issue kama ya bed bugs, si ndio? Now, for example, kama my high school, the whole time kuna ma bed bugs. Now if they want to buy those things, those hizo za kuspray, you understand? Now these people have to go through a procedure ya kujaribu maybe kucontact sijui hawa say tutumie ni do to buy this unaona. But before, I think it would be more of like principal ama the deputy head teachers wanaweza tu kufanya small transaction easier and then they get things done.
One, to curb corruption. Sindio? But now, shule za corruption ina happen kwa shule. That's another question you ask yourself. Ingekuwa maybe it's a parastatal institution that offers this kind of service. ungesema it's a good thing. Oh, why?
Hiyo kitu ni poa. Juu sasa unajua hata shule iko na corruption. Sasa corruption imejaa kila mahali, but wakitumia hiyo mtindo at least inaweza punguza hiyo corruption kwa shule. Alafu pia kama pia watapunguza bei itakuwa sawa kwa wazazi.
Hiyo mambo ni ngumu sana na hii maisha yake. Sasa kuenda kulipa na mambo ya citizen, unajua unalipa na tax, itakuwa ngumu je, inakata pesa. Wadhali wazazi waende walipe through wenye wanakuwa nalipanga through kwa shule ama through bank hiyo. But hiyo mambo ya citizen, it's a process. Unajua sasa maisha venye iko sasa hii, maisha imekuwa ngumu kabisa.
Now, there has been a new twist in the War Memorial Hospital land battle after the directors and land officials were charged afresh in a Nakuru court. A total of 23 charges have been preferred against the 5, namely Simon Mwangi Watene, Roger Jocelyn, Kipkemboi Marindish Kigen, Peter Nzuki and Stephen Kihenjo, as DPP claims previous charges aired errors. Suspects' charges range from fraudulent procuring of land registration documents, forgery, abuse of office and conspiracy to defraud. This and more in our news wrap.
The ongoing land dispute surrounding War Memorial Hospital has taken a new turn, with directors and land officials facing fresh charges in a Nakuru court. The individuals involved, namely Simon Mwangi Watene, Roger Jolin, Kipkemboi Marindich Kigen, Peter Nzuki, and Stephen Kihenjo, now confront a total of 23 charges as the Director of Public Prosecution asserts errors in the previous charges.
Jointly with others not before court, with intent to defraud, you forged signature of Robert Otiti in a document, namely proposed list extension for Nakuru Municipality Block 11/107, and reporting that the said document originated from the Ministry of Land, Provincial Surveyor Office.
Meanwhile, Justice Fatuma Sichale has been sworn in as the appeal court representative to the Judicial Service Commission. Sichale was sworn in a ceremony presided over by Chief Justice Martha Koome at the Supreme Court. She will be replacing outgoing Justice Mohamed Wasame, who completed his second term. Koome expressed confidence in Sichale's appointment, adding that she'll be needed to use her expertise in promoting an independent and transparent judiciary. The JSC consists of 11 members headed by the CJ, 1 Supreme Court judge elected by the judges of the Supreme Court, and 1 Court of Appeal judge elected by the judges of the Court of Appeal. Elsewhere, in an attempt to solve water connection challenges in Nanyuki Majengo slums, Nanyuki Water and Sewerage Company Nawasco has held an open day in the area where residents have gotten a chance to express their water concerns directly to the company officials. Most of these residents lamented about water disconnection problems, citing high water bills charges and high penalties that have accrued over time.
Mimi ni mzaliwa hapo wa Majengo na nafurahia sana kwa sababu ya Nawasco kuja kuangalia zile shida ambazo zinaendelea hapa za maji. Kuna ploti zingine ambazo maybe zilikatwa maji kitambo na wanasema ya kwamba wanaweza unaweza lipa polepole.
Kwa eneo ya leo ambao tuko ni eneo ambayo inaitwa Majengo, ikiangalia Vingido na soko pia, lakini Majengo specifically imekuwa ni mahali ambapo tulianzisha kampuni. Kulikuwa na shida ya vitu ambazo tunaita flying toilets, hawakuwa na vitu kama siwa, lakini mbele kabisa tulikushikania na WSTF ambayo ni Water Sector Trust Fund kuleta Absan project ambayo ilikuwa inaitwa Absan kukuja kuimprove choo, ndio to avoid maneno ya flying toilets ambayo ilikuwa inaleta maugonjwa mingi.
Martin Masharia, Lookuptv.
Let's talk matters sports now. The Junior Golf Foundation US Kids Local Tour kicked off at the Vet Club Sports Club with an impressive 162 golfers participating in the first tournament of the year. Amelia Sheikh had a good start in the new season, winning in the girls category aged 13 to 14 years with a score of 14 over par 86, while Yuvraj Raput emerged the winner of the boys category aged 13 to 14 years with an impressive score of 7 over par 79. The golfers will take a 2-week break before resuming the US Kids Local Tour Series with the second tournament at Limuru Country Club on the 18th of February this year.
usually the first tournament of the season, people come in a bit rusty. The last tournament we had was in December of 20th December. So the juniors have gone on holiday, come back, just started getting into the swing of things. So we expect this. The first two tournaments are going to be slow, and then the kids are going to ramp up. The one thing I like about it, we had 162 players, which is a good turnout for our first tournament. The course is playing hard. It has been raining, El Nino, so the roughs are really rough. And a lot of the juniors who haven't been practicing a lot are really struggling with the rough conditions. But, you know, we anticipate an even better year than we had last year.
Going overseas now, and the English Premier League continues tonight as the defending champions Manchester City will face 15th place Brentford, who have 22 points, well known as the Bees, away at the Brentford Community Stadium starting from 11 p.m. Just a point to note is that yesterday, and I know my director will be mad for this, is that December Premier League champions Arsenal revived their Premier League title charge with a 3-1 win over league leaders Liverpool, as Manchester United won comfortably 3-0 against West Ham United. Well, that particular story wraps up our bulletin at this particular moment in time, but we are not done, because after this short break, I'll be speaking to the Vice President of the Law Society of Kenya, that is Faith Odhiambo, on matters judicial independence and her quest to become the next President of the Law Society of Kenya. Don't go away.
Coming up on the Spotlight.